Hello everyone, my name is Shawn in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about endometriosis. I'm going to be talking about how I got diagnosed, what endometriosis is, and what it exactly looks like. Hopefully this video is informative. I will also be talking about birth control a tiny bit, because birth control is how you manage endometriosis if you're not going to get the surgery, and most of the time they don't do the surgery unless your case is extremely bad, unless you're going to have some other stomach or pelvic surgery, or unless you want to have kids. And none of those things apply to me right now. And also, yes, if you're watching this and hearing about pelvic regions, it sounds really bad. If women's reproductive things, you see what I mean? If you're not comfortable with that type of stuff, you can click away from this video because maybe you don't want to watch this video. So let's just crack on into this video. Back in about May of 2018, I started to get period cramps. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, but a lot of people get period cramps, like if they have the reproductive organs of a female. And the thing is, like, yes, people do. And that is why my endometriosis got as bad as it did. So I was like, I am a normal person with female organs right now. I was like, this is normal, everything's fine, I'm just gonna suck up the pain. I've known tons of friends with period cramps, I'm just gonna suck it up and deal with it, because I'd never had them before. And so this went on for a few months. And then in December, I was going to go see Crimes of Grindelwald for like the 9th time. And I'm in the theater, and I'm sitting there, and I was really nauseous throughout the whole day, but I was like, it's just my undiagnosed chronic illness, which at the time I didn't know it was POTS, but I was just like, it's from that condition, so I'm just gonna say POTS right now, but I didn't know it was POTS at the time. But I was like, my nausea is just from that, that's why it's bad. And so I'm sitting there trying to watch the movie, and I just have this pain in my pelvic area, but I didn't know the difference between the pelvic and the stomach. No one taught me this. You can see diagrams all you want, but until you actually like feel a pain in your pelvis, you don't understand where the difference between the stomach and the pelvis is. So I was sitting there and I was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, my stomach hurts so badly. And then I was sitting there and I realized 20 minutes of this movie had passed by and I don't remember any of it. Like, I didn't absorb any of it because I was too focused on this pain. So I was like, I need to get up and try to go to the bathroom. So I got up, I went to the bathroom, sat there, I'm like, something feels wrong. And then I was like, no, I just need to get back in the theater and finish the movie because I paid for this ticket. So I get back in there, I'm sitting there, I'm going, it's getting worse, it's getting worse, it's getting worse. And then I finally was like, screw it, I can't do this. So I got up and I left the theater halfway through the movie, and it was my favorite movie. So like, you know something was wrong when I leave my favorite movie when it's in theaters. So I get out and I call my dad and I say, Dad, I have appendicitis. I need you to take me to the emergency room. And he was like, we're gonna take you to Zoom care. I'll be there in 1 sec. So he rushes over there and he takes me to a Zoom care, which, I mean, you can't use the Zoom care like an ER. That's not how Zoom care works. And the lady was even like, if this is a really bad emergency, take her to the ER. But my dad just took me home, which I don't know if that was a smart choice. But then I went to my doctor, and my doctor was like, oh, this is just your eating disorder stuff. And I didn't even have an eating disorder. I was misdiagnosed, but at the time I was sort of convinced I had an eating disorder because they tricked me into thinking I had one, but I don't really know. But I was basically like, I am having so much stomach pain, and she was just like, it is just your eating disorder, it's because you haven't eaten enough today. And I was like, honey, this is different. But I didn't say that because I was scared and they were talking about possibly putting me in another eating disorder program or possibly giving me a feeding tube. So we eventually decided to stop seeing that doctor, and then the pain eventually went away, and the pain had lasted for like 3 weeks in December. So here comes January, and the pain starts again. The pain basically is 2 weeks before my period, the week of my period, and then I get a 1 week break without pain or cramps that occurs after my period. So in January, the pain starts again, and I go, Mom, I need to see someone. So she takes me to Zoom care, and I'm like, I have no clue what this is, and I was scared. And the lady goes, have you heard of endometriosis? And my mom was like, oh, we have relatives who have endometriosis. And then the Zoom care lady was like, okay, well, you need to see a women's healthcare professional. And so that's what I did, and I never got officially diagnosed because basically there's two ways to get diagnosed with endometriosis, and one of the ways doesn't work very well. So first of all, you can get the surgery, as I've said. That way is the best way to diagnose and the most official and for sure way to diagnose. But as I said, it's a surgery, so you don't get it unless it's really, really bad, unless you are getting another stomach or pelvis regions surgery, or unless you want to try to have kids. So I didn't get that done. And the second way is an ultrasound. Sometimes they can see endometriosis cysts in your pelvis area, but they didn't see any for me when they did it, and they do that through an ultrasound. There's some sort of street cleaner outside my window. Yikes. But anyways, the women's health care professional basically said that they're assuming that I have endometriosis since it runs in my family and since I have all the symptoms, which is basically just pelvic pain and nausea. I feel like I'm yelling. What is this thing? Oh my gosh, why is there a street cleaner right now? So that is basically my endometriosis symptoms and how I got diagnosed. Now the thing is, the pelvis and the stomach is a different area, but as I said, you don't really know the difference until you get pain for the first time. But also I feel like schools don't teach you where does the pelvis start and the stomach end? Because maybe then I would have known that it was my pelvis and not my stomach, but I don't really know. Endometriosis is basically where the lining of either your ovaries or your uterus are growing out of where they're supposed to be growing. Some people have endometriosis and they have no symptoms or pain from endometriosis, and they just find out later, when they do a surgery in their stomach area. Some people have really, really bad pain. I had really bad pain. To describe it, it felt like someone was jabbing a sword straight through my pelvis and then just twisting it like this. That was the pain I was feeling. I think the pain descriptions are a little different for each person. It varies from person to person. And endometriosis, I wouldn't say that it is uncommon. And now on to birth control, because that is how you manage endometriosis, and this is why I have been getting political. So basically there's the surgery to treat endometriosis, which they just scrape the overgrown lining. They scrape it out of the area. I don't know if they physically, they probably physically pull it out of your stomach. I don't know. But basically you use birth control to manage the pain. Birth control doesn't work for everyone, so some people have to get the surgery to try and manage the pain. I personally have been able to mostly manage my symptoms using birth control, so that's what I'm sticking to. And any type of hormonal, did I say it right? Any type of hormonal, I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but any type of hormonal birth control can work. So this includes things like the NuvaRing, the Nexaplan, which I think is the almond plant, the pills, the injections, and the IUD. And I use pills. I tried the NuvaRing, it didn't work for me. I don't want to talk about that right now, but the pills generally somewhat help with me. I started out originally on normal birth control, which has the 2 different hormones in it. Unfortunately, the first one that I tried, my body just got really sick from it, and I think it's because one of the 2 hormones that was in there did not work well for me. The second birth control that I tried, I was allergic to it, and I got this rash all over my body. And then the third one is the one that worked for me, and the third one, it has only one of the 2 hormones in it. I forget which one it is. It's either, is it estrogen or progesterone or testosterone? I feel like I should have researched this so that I looked like I knew what I was talking about. Yikes. But anyways, the one that I'm currently on and the one that was the third pill that I tried was the one that is just 1 hormone. It's the one that works best for me because that second hormone makes me feel sick, and taking that off helps prevent me from having side effects of the medication. And I wish schools would teach about endometriosis, because maybe then I would have paid attention in the sex ed unit, and then maybe then we would have ignorant people be changed to more open-minded people once they realize that birth control isn't just for sexual related things and preventing pregnancy. So yeah, this was a really quick video about my endometriosis and how I got diagnosed, my symptoms and management and all of that. If you have endometriosis and you have any tips for other people with endometriosis, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. I really hope this video was informative and interesting. If you liked it, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe to me if you haven't already. And I will talk to all of you in my next video. Bye!